focus on all the stories from the south of India, and today our focus is on Karnataka. All is not well in Karnataka, and particularly between the top boss and his deputy, that is Siddaramaiah and DK Shivakumar. A perfect cocktail for political instability is a conspiracy theory, and when it's a deputy CM, then it gains more credence. As always on Sunday, DK Shivakumar threw a bomb of sorts when he said that there is a conspiracy which is being hatched in faraway Singapore to topple, the Congress government. He said, and it's on your screen, what I'm going to read right now. I have information about Kumaraswamy's visit to Singapore. Instead of finalizing a game plan here in Bengaluru, they went to Singapore to work on a strategy. We know everything. That is what DK Shivakumar said when he alleged that a conspiracy was being hatched to topple the government in Karnataka. He also said, this is all part of a strategy and I have become aware of it. The plan was made in Singapore and it is suspected that the details will come to light if it is executed in Bengaluru. I am well aware of the conspiracy against our government and I also know what is going on. Now, 2 days before DKS's outburst, former Chief Ministers Basavaraj Bommai and Kumaraswamy held a joint press conference in Bengaluru announcing their decision to work together against the Congress-led government in the states on various issues. Kumaraswamy said BJP is also in the opposition and we are also in the opposition. We have decided to fight against the government together, both inside and outside the house. This decision has been taken for the welfare of the state. Well, it's not that Karnataka is new to conspiracies, but the JDS president came out and negated DKS's theory. Let's listen into what he had to say.
भाई ये दोनों मिले तो भी कितना होगा 85 है ना और 50 की जरूरत है वे तुम इसकी फिक्र क्यों करते हो तुमको चाहिए जो जो वादे किए थे ना वो भाग्य खचिता उचिता सचिता पहले इसको आप पूरा करो.
Well, the other ingredient of instability of any government are mini rebellions. You never know when they become a huge revolt. Now, 20 MLAs and several MLCs have reportedly written to Chief Minister Siddaramaiah expressing displeasure over the functioning of several ministers in the cabinet. To discuss the issue, the Chief Minister has even called a Congress Legislature Party, that is CLP, meeting on Thursday, that is 27th of July, at a private hotel in Bengaluru. The Congress legislators are said to have alleged that several senior ministers are really not responding to their requests for pending works and are busy with transfers. Before that, yet another complaint, and that being of Legislative Council member BK Hariprasad, who challenged Karnataka Chief Minister and Congress leader Siddaramaiah, stating that he knew, and this is within quotes, how to make or bring the Chief Minister down, close quote. He said while addressing Ediga, Bilava, Namdari and Divara communities on Friday, he said, and it's on your screen right now, I know how to make CM and how to bring him down. I do not beg from anyone. I will stand with my chest. Becoming a minister is a different question. He also said the community should be conscious. Whether I become a minister or not is a different question. I have already played a role in making 5 chief ministers in this country, whether it is in Puducherry or Goa. In Jharkhand, I have done it alone. In Haryana and Punjab, I did it along with the AICCT. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we all know that there is a history of a strife between DKS and Siddaramaiah, and which manifested itself before and after elections and even up to the day of the swearing in. But after assuming power, this seems to be the rift between the two men of all times. Let's debate. And to join, Sanket Yanagi, who's advocate and spokesperson of KPCC, he is joining us on the phone line. T.R. Prasad Gowda, who's spokesperson of the JDS, is also joining us. Also joining us is Vijay Grover, senior journalist, and Dr. Baswaraj Itnal, who's also senior journalist and political analyst. A very, very warm welcome to you. Seems to be that Karnataka is there is a lot of drama, and action and emotion like a Bollywood film, because it's been changing because from this morning till as it transformed into evening, a lot of things have changed. My first question is to Sanket Yanagi. Sanket Yanagi, what kind of a message does it send out? I mean, your government is very new, it's newly minted, and everything seemed fine. Of course, there were some problems, teething problems happened with all governments, but what is this? I mean, first there is an allegation, by DK Shivakumar that a conspiracy is there, the government may be toppled, and then Mr. Siddaramaiah says, well, ask him, why ask me? I think there seems to be more of a problem there. So what is really happening? Mr. Sanket, can you hear me? I think there is some problem with Sanket Yanagi's phone line. So
now I can hear.
Yeah, go on, Sanket. Hi.
Our government is absolutely safe, and we have unprecedented majority, and the people are with us.
Right.
And there has been some confusion, which probably our Deputy Chief Minister or whoever has made the statement has to clarify. But as such, our government is completely safe. There is no question as such or no insecurity for us. But we can't stop the attempts being made by the frustrated opposition. But that does not mean that we are not safe, and we are absolutely safe as such.
Vijay Grover, is this as simple as Sanket Yanagi makes out to be? He's saying our government is safe. Decode it. Just, kind of unravel it for the viewers, as it were. He says, oh, there is a conspiracy theory. Then, we heard what Mr. Ibrahim said, that listen, even if we shake hands, हमारे पास number तो है नहीं, तो ये कहाँ की बात हो रही है? And then Siddaramaiah actually dismissed it. I wonder, Lakshmi, if we have that bite of Siddaramaiah, we should play it. In case, just prompt me, okay? Do we have it? Okay, later he says. We'll get that bite, but he did say it. Vijay Grover, tell me something. What is going on?
Well, Sudha, good evening. First of all, when DKS says something like this that's happening in Singapore, I don't know why Singapore is in the news for all wrong reasons. And that's something, which I'm very surprised when a statement like this is made out by a Deputy Chief Minister that a conspiracy is being hatched in Singapore to destabilize this government. I do not take this even with a pinch of salt for the simple reason that, this is something, as CM Ibrahim said, that, the numbers certainly do not add up at all, even if an effort is made. But if you remember in the last show that we had last week, what I gather on the contrary is that it's Kumaraswamy who's desperately trying to save his party. While he is inclined to the BJP, there are about 11 MLAs in his party who are not inclined to go with the BJP at all. And that is where a vertical split actually is a threat that looms largely on the JDS rather than in the Congress, where we could see this kind of a thing happening. So clearly, it could be a deflection technique. It could be something of a part of a political strategy to keep the debate on political issues rather than the fact that the government has not been able to implement the 5 guarantees effectively till now, because there is still something a lot needs to be pending as far as the 5 guarantees is concerned. But the political discourse, the gossip, the tea shop, everything now is around whether this government will last or will JDS and BJP come around. So that is something I feel that this was a red herring that is actually true. What I gather from my sources during the assembly session is a lot of JDS MLAs are not happy about the unilateral decision being taken to go along with the BJP, and that is a cause of worry, not for the Congress, but for the JDS. in this matter.
So they may jump ship, you feel, Vijay, because there was a point when your audio dipped. You think they will jump ship and maybe go over to the Congress?
Yes, there are many of them who are ready, and I can say that from the sources that I have gathered.
Right.
I am sure Prasad also is aware of the kind of murmurs that are happening in his own party.
Yeah.
That a lot of MLAs.
Yeah, right. But Vijay, this is not gossip. No, see, also you have to see from whose mouth is the gossip being spouted. This is the Deputy Chief Minister, for God's sake. He's not some ordinary MLA, MLC that he says something, he shoots and scoots. This is someone that you look up to. He is, जैसे हिंदी में कहते हैं भावी Chief Minister, someone like that to say this. I know that he's got a short fuse. I mean, I am sorry, but we all know this, right? I mean, the way he spoke to Zamir Ahmed Khan also, I do not know any Zamir Gimir. The way, typically the way South Indians would speak. But the point is, come on, respect your chair. You can't be shooting your mouth off. Mr. Gowda, let me bring you in. You know what Vijay Grover just now said, that there is a lot of unhappiness amongst JDS. That you are not happy that you are shaking hands with the BJP, and a lot of your members may now go join the Congress. Is that what is going on in Singapore, sir?
To be honest with you, all these things what's happening, or whatever the conspiracy statement made by whoever it is, whether it is from Deputy Chief Minister or anybody else, is not true. And we are not interested in toppling anybody's government here. We are only interested in building our own party. And we of course, we expected that Kumaraswamy will be the Chief Minister. But that doesn't happen. And we will obey the orders of the people. And we are only interested in building our party and going forward and looking forward for Lok Sabha elections. And we are maintained equidistance from both the national parties, whether it is Congress or it is BJP. And last occasion, we have not attended anybody's, whether a meeting organized by NDA, we have not attended. Meeting organized by,
I get that. I think, Mr. Gowda, every time Mr. Kumaraswamy goes to Singapore, everyone's ante is up that, oh God, he's in Singapore. So what is going on? It's a bit of a joke, I think now, this unnecessary paranoia, because every time the elections get over, apparently Mr. Kumaraswamy heads to Singapore, where he thinks of all the strategies, he lays out his charts there and works on them. Let me get Dr. Itnal. Dr. Itnal, I know it's funny, but then, it's like, the usual bogeyman showing children, oh, do this or else I will send you there. So, Dr. Itnal, on a very serious note, sir, I will come back to you, sir, Mr. Gowda. I'll just come back, sir. Just 1 minute, sir. Dr. Itnal, I want to ask you this.
I would like to mention one point.
I will come to you. Dr. Itnal, don't you think that this is very serious in the sense that a Deputy Chief Minister, now look at this, Deputy Chief Minister says there is a conspiracy. The Chief Minister says, they ask him, Siddaramaiah says, don't ask me, ask him. Okay, Zamir Ahmed Khan, he says something. It's like comedy of errors. You are laughing and I am also laughing.
Let's understand the chronology here. The famous chronology, let's understand.
I like that. Chronology samjhiye. Yeah.
Chronology mein kya hai? First, DK Prasad tells in an open forum that he has made CMs and he has brought CMs down and he is not going to beg in front of anybody on a dais shared by a Swamiji who has batted for more cabinet berths for Hari Prasad's community, including Hari Prasad.
Right.
So, such being the context, there was a suspicion in the Congress party because Hari Prasad happens to be in the DK Shivakumar camp.
Right.
So, many people suspected DK Shivakumar to be behind this. Given the open competition and competing aspirations between Siddaramaiah and DK Shivakumar. And then the next day, you have to divert the attention to somebody else, somewhere else. Probably that's what DK Shivakumar has done. He has simply diverted attention from this comment to Siddaramaiah's governance being under threat by Kumaraswamy. And Kumaraswamy incidentally or intentionally happens to go to Singapore. But somehow it beats me to understand why somebody has to go to Singapore to do any political engineering in Bangalore.
Right.
I just don't understand, number one. Number two, right now the Congress has a robust majority. It takes a lot to, engineer any split there. Operation Lotus or whatever they want to do. It takes a lot to do that at this point in time. But only thing that opposition can do, now we can call it united opposition in Karnataka at least, because both BJP and JDS seem to be hand in hand, and they even conducted a joint press conference. So this united opposition, what it can do is, it can at best try to put the government on notice, on the defensive all the time. Because on one hand, we have this BJP, which has failed, even after budget session is over, to elect an opposition leader. That is simply because the Congress government has initiated various inquiries on earlier BJP government's episodes, including Bitcoin or PSA inquiries, all these things. So if the leader of opposition is X or Y somebody, and what happens to these SITs and investigations that has been initiated by Siddaramaiah? So that might embarrass once LOP is elected. Okay? So they are in these doldrums, and at the same time they need a stick to beat the government with. And all this appears to be a strategy aimed at just unnerving the government, not exactly toppling it.
Right. So unnerving the government, not toppling it, and Vijay Grover earlier said that it is just to perhaps divert attention, but the thing is, but still this is not the way, like you said, Dr. Itnal, this is really not the way that a government which got a fabulous victory should be behaving. I think it's very irresponsible. What is the kind of message? Maybe you were not able to, like Vijay said, they are unable to fulfill the guarantees. Fine. Yes, take it on your chest. Move on. Annabhagya, instead of rice, they gave money. Graha Lakshmi, it's already, the process has begun. I'm sure that every government faces it. But you don't start throwing conspiracy bombs at each other, for God's sake. This is ridiculous. I mean, no one,
Even among the 5 guarantees, if Siddaramaiah government fulfills 2.5 of them, they are done, they are sorted. People will support them because something is better than nothing. People had nothing so far as distress economy conditions were concerned, unemployment or prices, all these things, especially the lower middle class and lower class families. They are suffering a lot. For them, whatever has been done itself is great. Right. So they should build on that. The government should build on that instead of engaging in this kind of.
So do you think he just shot his mouth off, Dr. Itnal? Before I go to Mr. Gowda, you think he just said it because for effect? I still am not able to put my finger on it, because see, it seems like he just said it. Chalo, well, let's say something. It's not.
True. It appears so. It appears so because it is
going on in Karnataka. I mean, it is really one Nataka which is going on. Mr. Gowda, you wanted to say something, sir? Please go ahead.
No, visit of Kumaraswamy's, I do not know why the people are mistaken. You must, madam, one thing is sure, he is under treatment. He has gone heart surgery twice.
All right.
The first occasion when he was first time chief minister during when his age was 47, he underwent surgery. During 57, when he was age of 57, he has undergone surgery. Every 10 years, he should get surgery should be there, and the medical treatment should be there.
Yeah.
Yes, fighting the elections after taking the surgery and going around
I wish him, sir, all of us wish him the best of health, sir, Mr. Gowda. But the point is that he is also a very, very fiery, he is also a very, very strong politician, one of the few regional leaders, and therefore you have now said no, there is no conspiracy which is going on. But the point is that because Mr. DK Shivakumar has suggested, and also you heard what Mr. Ibrahim said, that's why I am asking you. It is not like I am saying every time he goes there, but in the past also it is being said that when he travels out, one is, kind of thinking that maybe there is some kind of a political.
How do you expect the people with 19 MLAs can topple the government. Do you, anybody will believe this?
Sir, sir, Karnataka has a very unique reputation, sir, of resort politics. One day someone is a chief minister, then there are buses, you see
Congress
Volvo
has got
buses.
highest majority.
Sir, there is history, no, recent history, no, it's not ancient. Yes, Vijay, go on.
Nobody imagined that 34 MLAs could become a chief minister.
Yes, so there is history, sir. Vijay said it better, you know, so let's not. Vijay, also the thing is that all these apprehensions are there and everyone takes it seriously. To be very honest, when he said it, I didn't take it seriously, but when I saw more and more voices, you know, coming through, I thought this story is becoming big, and you never know, because see, it's very clear. And let me tell you, and I'm sticking my neck out, some of the Congress people that I know, they said, please don't invite us today. Hum nahi aayenge. We don't want to talk about it. It's a sensitive issue. It is sensitive. Let me tell you, you know, where do you go? Like Siddaramaiah is saying one thing, DK Shivakumar is saying anything, but you know, decode it, because those who are watching this show, Vijay Grover and also Dr. Itnal later will decode that there is a history of a rift. The rift between DK Shivakumar and Siddaramaiah. Vijay, we saw until the day that there was swearing in, even during Bharat Jodo, before Bharat Jodo, we saw how Rahul Gandhi tried to play the peace broker between the two. It is legendary that the two do not see eye to eye. Isn't that true? Although there was this fake video of, you know, him saying, sir, I've worked with you, but we all knew it was fake. You remember that video between Siddaramaiah and DKS? It was so fake that a little child would have known it. But tell the viewers, Vijay, you first, and then Dr. Itnal. Vijay, you know, this history, and I don't think they've been able to resolve this, Vijay.
Well, see very clearly, Sudha, this is something which I think can never be resolved, given the fact that both the leaders are very strong in their own ways, and that is something which, you know, is the biggest challenge. Even though Rahul Gandhi and Randeep Surjewala, I would want to credit him for at least bringing the things till here, that he's been able to ensure that, you know, to this level today we have a situation where the government is running 6 years later. Now, very clearly, this is something which will come up time and again and will get exploited by a lot of political rivals within the party and outside the party. So, who will try to ensure this rift between the two leaders. While, you know, they have tried their best, but the body language of the two leaders in every public appearance that they make very clearly shows that they do not see eye to eye and are being forced to work together, is what it looks like in the present situation. Now, who will succeed after a couple of months or weeks is something which is a period of, like, you know, something that everybody's eyes on, whether this government will stay, or, you know, whether Siddaramaiah will opt for a national role, or will DK Shivakumar be given a national role. You know, there's a lot of speculation and a lot of apprehensions within the party also, because everybody is in a sort of, you know, uncertainty. The meeting that been called on 27th is basically because the MLAs feel that, you know, they have to run with two people at a time, and, you know, they have to respective leaders, because, you know, each faction works very separately. So that is something which we will have to see how this government survives. And
you know, but also you know, Vijay, you speak about these letters that 20 MLAs, MLCs have written, for which there is a meeting, CLP meeting on 27th of July. Their main grouse seem to be transfers. They say, you know, first of all, no ministers is there to say whether yes or no. They are all sitting on the fence. And the transfers. Why is transfer, which is also something with Mr. H.D. Kumaraswamy also said, of course, in a different context about transfers. The point is, why is that such a big issue, Vijay Grover?
Sad state of affairs in Karnataka, where, you know, not just the MLAs, ministers and things, there are some, I would say, even in the media, who play a key role in influencing transfers, and that is something which is very sad, because every MLA or leader wants officers of his caste or his choice to be in his district, and that is something where, you know, we see a lot of these shake-ups happen. In fact, I'll tell you personally, I'm very surprised that, you know, unlike in the past, when, you know, top bureaucracy is taken up when there's a change of government, we were very surprised that continued with the same set of key officials at the additional chief secretary level without changing those who were serving the BJP government. But for the MLAs, it is something where there is favors to be done, because we have seen this in the past where officials run from pillar to post to get key postings, especially in terms of education. We've seen that no teacher wants to go to rural areas. They put pressure on their local MLAs, and be it in police and all these officials like revenue, where everybody wants plum posting, and that is where we have seen that these cases and pressure building happen.
Right. Sanket, Yanagi had actually, you lost connection to him. I was wondering if he's still with us. Is he, Sanket?
Yes, I'm available.
Yeah, thank you, Sanket, for joining back. I thought I had lost connection with you. Sanket, Mr. Gowda, of the JDS is here with us on the debate, and he said it is implausible for us to topple the government simply because of arithmetic. That is what Mr. Ibrahim also said. Do you have to say anything about that, Sanket?
So, firstly, whenever the BJP is not in power, the history says there have been several attempts by the BJP for Operation Lotus, and that too in the circumstances where there was a marginal difference between the ruling and the opposition party. But in the case of Karnataka, I would say that we have a clear mandate, and it is unprecedented mandate.
True.
And the BJP also understands that it is not so easy for them to play the game at this moment.
So, Sanket, as of now, is the party sitting together? I mean, it would be very unfair of me to kind of pin you down. But do you think, because Siddaramaiah has said very clearly, don't ask me, something to the effect, or rather he did not comment on this Singapore conspiracy theory at all. But do you think that both the leaders are going to now sit and kind of, come out with a joint statement at some point?
So, firstly, it is only the opinion, I think, of Mr. K Shivakumar. It is not even a statement of a party as such. And nobody from the party leadership, including the High Command, has made any statement in this regard. And Mr. DK Shivakumar feels that there seems to be some conspiracy going on, and it is his personal opinion as it is not an opinion of the party, because he holds multiple positions, not just
Sanket, you are contradicting yourself. Then you will say, I asked you. You are saying that it's his personal opinion. Then you are saying he holds multiple positions. He's the deputy chief minister, for Pete's sake. You can't have someone have his own. There's a difference between party and government. He's part of the government, sir. It's okay if you're just part of the party. The thing is that he's deputy chief minister. People look up to him. The people of Karnataka have voted for both him and Siddaramaiah, and of course the entire party. You can't possibly have a personal opinion like this, which none of you are actually, no one in the government and the party are supporting. Mr. Itnal, Dr. Itnal, do you think this whole thing is about Shivakumar also projecting himself for the 2024 elections? Karnataka election is done and dusted. But now, do you think the run, is towards who shall be the face or who shall be leading the Lok Sabha polls in 2024? Maybe the homework has started right now. The legwork.
That's true. That is true. But the Congress party never went to any elections like that with one face. Nobody had been one face of the party ever, whether it's in state or in center. So even in the last assembly polls, also it was these two stalwarts only, Siddaramaiah and DK Shivakumar together. Sometimes talking contradictory to each other, but they were presented as two tall leaders of the party. Now, as far as 2024 elections is concerned, right now the situation is, we need to understand. You previously asked a question regarding this DK Shivakumar Siddaramaiah rift. But the point is here, what is happening is that rift is very much visible. Right. For example, after the swearing in, MP Patil goes out and says that Siddaramaiah is chief minister for 5 years. Yeah. And at that point in time, Siddaramaiah doesn't intervene and put his foot down and condemn that or stop MP Patil from saying that. Right. Similarly, when DK says this, party president DK Shivakumar wouldn't come and stop him, or at least express his departure from that. That he doesn't do. So this factionalism is growing. Number one. Number two is that if you look at the numbers, a couple of months ago, immediately after the elections, largely the Vakkaliga votes of JDS have migrated to Congress.
Yeah.
Now, why they migrated? There was a narrative in old mass vision that DK Shivakumar worked very hard to save Kumaraswamy government. When all these 17 MLAs from Congress had migrated to Bombay in a resort. So DK Shivakumar was the person who went there personally to save whose government? Kumaraswamy's government. The narrative was that DK Shivakumar did his best to save Kumaraswamy's government and he could not sustain it. Let us give DK Shivakumar a chance now. So now has the party, the JDS counter narrative is, what I'm hearing is that, yes, you voted for DK Shivakumar to be chief minister, but they did not do.
Yes. Yeah. Okay.
So that narrative is going there. And in the meantime, this kind of open difference coming in the open, they don't really work well for the party. They will have to manage their message at least till 2024. And what happens after 2024? Lok Sabha elections, to use your own phrase, the real natak lies then. In both situations, whether Congress and India wins or loses, the real natak begins then between Siddaramaiah and Shivakumar.
Yeah. Mr. Gowda, I want to ask you and bring you in here, sir. The thing is, you have said that there is no intent of toppling the government. There is no, but it is very true, but it is also a fact that both Mr. H.D. Kumaraswamy and Baswaraj Bommai, both of them came out and gave a very strong statement saying our common enemy is the Congress. We are working against it. So I just want to ask you that going forward, what is the plan? When you have a plan between BJP and JDS, you have to unmute yourself, sir.
It is the statement. Of course, they have made the statement. But in the House, JDS and BJP will be the opposition parties. Major opposition party is BJP and second opposition party is JDS. When they are running the government, it is true that we are opposition parties. We need to oppose if they have done anything against the people of Karnataka. If they have voted them for the power, we will work honestly for the people. That's what they meant. Not that they never meant that we are going to topple the government. It is mistook very badly, and I don't think there is no such intentions of toppling the government.
So why do you think Siddaramaiah? Why do you think DK said it? Sir, why do you think, sir, Mr. Gowda, you've been in politics for a long time. Why do you think DK Shivakumar said such a thing? What do you think is the reason?
He is the chief minister. He is going to be a chief minister. I know for sure he will going to become chief minister.
Why do you say that?
After MP election. I know that. I know that he will going to become chief minister. Now he is deputy chief minister. Why he has made that statement, I do not know.
So why will he become the chief minister?
After MP elections, he will be the chief minister, madam. I know that. I do not know why he has gone forward such a way and he made that statement. I do not know.
Dr. Iqbal, you are having a good time today, I see, laughing away. It's good to see. See, in how many debates do guests laugh? I like it. All of you are beaming away. It's like such a joke today. And Vijay Global,
I am telling the truth, madam. I am telling the truth. After MP elections, DK Shivakumar will be the chief minister.
What elections?
I do not know why he is worrying. Why he is worrying? I do not know. I do not know. Let him not worry. Let him happily stay and do his work. That's what I wanted to convey him through you.
Oh, lovely. Vijay, what do you make of this? What is this election that he's talking about? What is this, that he's looking through a prism where he's soothsaying? What is going on?
So I hinted in the beginning also, I said, one of them will take up a national role in 2024 and it could be either Siddaramaiah who could move to central politics or DK Shivakumar, given the kind of influence he wields across the south. So we are still not sure about that, but maybe Mr. Prasad has better knowledge because that's something which, coming from Mr. Prasad has a lot of credence because, the Vokalika community somehow felt shortchanged because they rallied behind Congress, leaving even the JDS behind
True.
hoping that the Vocaliga could become a chief minister. So maybe there is some kind of an assurance which has been given.
Fine, Mr.
And
Yeah.
in that case.
Yeah, what Mr. Gowda said does have a lot of weight, but Vijay Grover, I want to ask you, you speak about the Vocaligas, what about the Ahindas? You know, they also have rallied around, you know, so you can't, of course, Vocaliga's shift was seen to be a bigger shift. I know that Lingayat shift is seen to be a bigger shift, but the point is you cannot discount the Ahindas. And you know, Siddaramaiah is behind it. He's been one of the torchbearers.
The fact is, Sudha, the Ahinda vote is not as critical or as powerful as the Vocaliga or the Lingayat, but we've seen with the political influence. No doubt Siddaramaiah is the tallest leader in the backward or the OBC communities. But the fact is that, you know, he's been a chief minister and, you know, he submitted his record budget for the 14th time now, very clearly hinting that, you know, maybe he'll want to slow down a bit, take up a central role, and that could be the kind of working arrangement which could happen after 2024. Because his financial acumen is something that the government needs now, the governance needs now, because you know the financial adjustments that Siddaramaiah, as the longest serving finance minister, can do for the state could help them implement the 5 guarantees.
Right.
And once that is done, and as Basavaraj Itnal very clearly said, that you know if they do even 2.5, they are home. And that is where we see that maybe Siddaramaiah will be drafted with a bigger responsibility at the center, and you know that's where Mr. Prasad is hoping that.
You know, what you say, Vijay, this is something that we were all discussing when the government was formed, Dr. Itnal, about this whole rotational thing. There was a lot of discussion around it. Will it happen? Won't it happen? Let both of them. And you remember Suresh Kumar, you know, he said openly that my brother has worked very hard, and like you also said, Dr. Itnal, he should be doing it. But the point is, Dr. Itnal, because you worked very hard, the Vocaliga voters have come after you. Today you are the deputy chief minister. It still does not behove, you know, anybody of that stature to go and talk like this and say that there is a conspiracy which is brewing, which actually means that DK Shivakumar is kind of showing some kind of neurosis and paranoia with 2 parties who don't even have the numbers. I mean, why would he say something like this? So imagine that number 2 in any government today, even in the central dispensation. I mean, you have to be responsible.
No, probably this is just a way of his way of managing the you know the message here, because he was avoiding being asked about BK elsewhere. In that rush, probably he overspoke himself, and if it comes to that, it is a bit paranoid. But at the same time, politicians are known to, you know, say such things, you know, when nothing of the sort exists. But anyways, it's more about managing the rhetoric and the message and the perception.
Also so about how do you decode what Zamir Khan said? He said that, you know, it's not as if someone who's got the Vocaliga votes will only be the leader. Now he's talking about 2024. How do you make out all these little mini rebellions? You know, a government.
There's very clear. There is a very clear, well-defined factional lines in Congress. Siddaramaiah group is very loyal and staunchly behind him. DK Shivakumar group is very loyal and staunchly behind him. So they will not, while somehow, even for the sake of optics, the 2 leaders might, you know, appear to come together, but not the factional members, not the, you know, the rest of the leaders in the faction. For example, MP Party, he would never, you know, climb down from his statements. He will say whatever he wants to say, targeting DK Shivakumar and in favor of Siddaramaiah. So is Zamir. Okay, so all these do exist. That's why I said all these.
They may exist, but you don't shoot your mouth off. That is one thing that the Congress does very often.
Congress will have a very tough time managing it.
Yes.
But when the real outbursts start happening after 2024 polls, that is the real drama that one you know one would imagine.
Right. Mr. Gowda, I want to ask you that, I mean, before I let you go, why is it that why do you think, what was the reason for the Vocaligas to move from JDS to DK Shivakumar, sir? I know that he is also a Vocaliga, but, you know, en masse, I saw that, you know, a lot of them went and voted for the Congress party. Where did the JDS go wrong, sir?
No, we never went wrong. We never went wrong. And actually, that belt, maybe that belt wanted DK Shivakumar to be the chief minister
Okay.
of next election.
All right.
That may be one of the reasons. And one second reason is Mr. Modi ji, Prime Minister Modi ji went around Mysore region and canvassed. If you vote for JDS, it is as good as you are voting Congress. That is the canvass he did across Mysore region. And people felt that let's not vote BJP, let's not vote JDS, we'll vote Congress also as well. And DK Shivakumar will be the next chief minister. That may be the reason. In Mandya, we lost all the seats. We were able to win only one seat. That may be the reason. That's
But
what I can tell you.
You think DK Shivakumar will be the next chief minister in 2024, before 2024?
If everything goes well, he will be the chief minister. He will be the chief minister after MP elections.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Mr. Gowda. Thank you, Dr. Itnal. Vijay, thanks very much for joining us on this debate. One thing seems to be very clear, that the entire mystery of why the Deputy Chief Minister of Karnataka, that is DK Shivakumar, said there is a conspiracy being hatched by the JDS and the BJP to topple our government, and on the other hand, for Siddaramaiah to say, ask him, don't ask me. There is indeed a rift between the two leaders. Where does it go? We shall let you know the next step in the Karnataka government. For now, let me say goodbye to you. Thank you for watching, and for all the other news and analysis, never forget, this is your destination, News9 Live. Vanakkam.
मैं